Welcome back to Nerdrotic. My name is Gary Beekler, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And this is Friday Night Tights, the very surprise impromptu version that can't go very long tonight. Wasn't sure if I was going to be able to live stream this evening because I'm getting ready for the Star Trek convention and I have to get videos out. I've got one coming out tonight, as a matter of fact, and I've got to prepare for my Orville video. I had this great idea for an Orville video, or what I think is a great idea. We'll see. You will decide. And that should be out Monday. I'm going to work on it over the weekend, and it requires help. It requires help. I'm going to be asking for some of you to send me a very short, 60-second, 60 to 90 second video of telling me if you truly love the Orville, why you love the Orville, and what do you like about the Orville fandom. Send that video to me if you can. If you have like a Google Drive, send me the link to Gary@nerdrotic.com. I can't guarantee everybody's cut is going to make it. I'll probably do a super cut with everybody's video in it and then a shorter one. So I'll do probably 2 videos on that. But that is what I would like from you. That's what I want to start out with this. There's a lot of news to cover. Greetings, everybody. Hello, George and Justin and Matthew and your wrench, Chris and your wrench, Tito's, the Grand Inquisitor, Alvurian Imikara. All Orville is good. Yes, it is. It certainly is. It's one of the few good things out there. So tonight we are going to discuss more of, I just want to continue the discussion and see what you guys think about the Brian Fuller situation with Star Trek Picard that Robert Meyer Burnett talked about. That was a bomb, man. I freaking loved it. I can't lie. Kate Mulgrew calling Star Trek misogynist and biting the hand that feeds her. We'll talk more about the MCU. Now, I've got a video coming out on this, but we're going to go over like the dumbest article I have read in 24 hours. Actually, I read a lot of dumb articles. We're going to go over to some Bounding in the Comic stuff because they talk about the Eternals, and it should be called the Externals because they're not really the Eternals from the comics. And I also want to discuss some good news. Well, I don't know if it's good news or not. I'm still deciding. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is going to be a show on Hulu. Now, when I first heard the news from my friend Doug, I'm like, great, as long as Brits are involved with it. It's only Brits. I mean, I don't want a single American involved in this show. And then I saw who the showrunner was, and I just went, are you effing kidding me? So we'll go over that. It's basically if you got the showrunner for 24 and put him on Hitchhiker, the guy, that's what they got. Now, it's not the showrunner from 24, but it's the showrunner from Jack Ryan doing Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Like the worst. No, you have to be a Brit. So this is Disney Hitchhiker. I imagine they still have the rights, which, God, I want to bring good news. I do. It's just not going to be good. Not unless it's produced by Brits. On that one, I will agree with the UK on that. It's sacred ground. Hitchhiker is sacred ground. It's practically my Bible. It's my favorite book by my favorite author. It's the one I've read the most. It's the one I've listened to the most. I know the radio show by heart. I have been searching far and wide. I have a channel. I can ask for this. If anybody knows if the music exists for the LP version of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the soundtrack, because they cut different music for an LP version, and I want that music. It's so good. I want that. So we're going to start with Kate Mulgrew. Let's start with Kate Mulgrew, and we're going to go to Bounding in the Comics on this one. John F. Trent is a hero to us all. He really is. I saw Jeremy from the Quartering give him a little bit of a hard time for having so many ads on his website. Get that money, John. Get that money. It doesn't bother me. It's not as bad as Bleeding Fool. Yeah, you got a couple ads. So what? I mean, these things don't run themselves, and not everybody has 500,000 people to crowdfund. And hey, I'm not throwing shade on Jeremy at the quartering it all. I mean, go for it, dude. I would do the same thing. As a matter of fact, I might do the same thing to help build the infrastructure for Nerdrotic. But I say to both of them, get that money, go for it, however way possible. I'm not judging, and listen, at least the ads are, tailored to me a little bit. Unless, of course, there's like a Swedish penis enlarger. That's not mine. That's not mine. I did notice that when I go to my other channel, Nerdrotic Live, and I don't have YouTube Red or whatever it's called now, and so I have to watch commercials, and all the commercials before my videos are Grammarly. Like, what the hell? I mean, yeah, it truly is tailor-made. We're going to start with this article. Then I'll get to you guys in the chat. And again, yeah, I've limited to 2 hours tonight. It's a hard 2 hours. Got to stop because I had to quickly put my office back together so I can have something to present to you. Then it's getting ripped down. So you can't even see it right now. I'm pointing to something you can't see. So I'll tell you that when we're done. Star Trek Voyager's Kate Mulgrew claims Gene Roddenberry and Star Trek, the original series, are extremely misogynist. The only thing offensive is that hair. Listen, I like Star Trek Voyager. I have always liked Star Trek Voyager. It's not the best, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I know a lot of people have complaints about it. They overused the Borg, but I dug it. I dug it. The only Star Trek I didn't like for a little while was, to my shame, was DS9 in the first couple seasons, just because it was different. We were scared of different things, but I grew to love it. Kate Mulgrew, who played the first female Star Trek captain in Captain Catherine Janeway in Star Trek Voyager, claims Star Trek, the original series, is extremely misogynist. Well, everything is these days, hence the title of this live stream, Hollywood No Man's Land. In an interview with the Radio Times while promoting her upcoming documentary series titled The Space Race, Mulgrew, who basically was a character actor who would be on like the Rockford Files, or I don't know if it was, but shows like that, until she was on, she got this great opportunity on Star Trek, being a female captain, which I don't remember anybody having a hard time with. I was not a forum person, so maybe there was some scuttlebutt in the forums, but as far as I hung out in comic shops a lot, and nobody tripped on it whatsoever. So the question noted that some people claim the dislike of Discovery. Okay, wait, let me back up on this one. Mulgrew responded to the question regarding a number of fans disconnected. Hey, John, buddy, go over this. Or this is Jorge Arenas. Hey, John, get the editor to go over this a little bit. I'll say that again. A question regarding a number of fans disconnect with Star Trek Discovery. The question noted that some people claim the dislike of Discovery has a misogynist edge to the vitriol. Well, I'm going to finish the article and I will state how I feel. Go back through my videos and try to find me having a problem with women being in the show. It's Star Trek. I have a problem with the way they treat men, but I don't want the women to be removed from the show. I just think the show's awful through and through, 100%. There's no good about that show. It has a couple of moments. That's as nice as I can get. Mulgrew responded to the question by not here. God dang, I lost my chat. I lost the chat here. Give me just a second. Okay. Mulgrew responded to the question by not only stating that the original series was extremely misogynist, but that Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry was too. She even lumped in Star Trek The Next Generation as it followed Jean-Luc Picard. I don't think you should be surprised by that. Did you watch the original series? It was extremely misogynist. Okay, hard stop there. It was of its time. So we are again judging the past on today's standards, which is unfair, ignorant, and disingenuous. That's what it was for years. And Picard followed that to a certain extent. Roddenberry himself was that way. Okay. Roddenberry was a womanizer. Roddenberry was a writer producer in Hollywood. So in the 60s. So yeah, again, I will criticize the guy's, I will look at the guy's work, not at his personal life, because sometimes our work or the things we do can be better than us, because we as human beings are complicated creatures. I can't believe I have to say this out loud, but that's part of being on YouTube and doing and making videos and content creating, is stating the obvious. When you are making a fictional piece of work, it is very easy to not be those things, to show the best of yourself, because you can edit out all that stuff. You can't edit out your life. That's what it was for years that Picard followed. To a certain extent, Roddenberry himself was that way. We are simply going to have to change this sensibility, this ideology, and we are, but it's like moving granite. It takes a long time. We are not a society that has endorsed females as equals to males on television. Okay. It sounds like somebody's looking for a little relevancy. It sounds like somebody needs a little of attention promoting her thing, and she's decided to use what all the franchises are using to get attention in the media. This is working every single time, by the way, and it will burn itself out. It will. People will get really, really tired of this stuff. As a matter of fact, I think people are, but it's going to be a little while. However, earlier in the interview, Mulgrew would praise Roddenberry. Well, now you are talking about a visionary, and his name was Gene Roddenberry. He foresaw the what others could not see. The fact that Star Trek emerged at the same time is no accident. Roddenberry came into his own at exactly the time we recognized the value and the possibility of material space travel. She then touched on the importance of playing the first female captain and how it furthered Roddenberry's vision. Without question, playing the first female captain came with huge responsibility, not just to further the extraordinary ideas given wings by Gene Roddenberry, the misogynist, but to do so with an intention and intelligence that would extend itself in particular to women in my audience, in her audience. Mulgrew even recalled how she met a number of women during the visit at the White House and recalled how they had been inspired by Janeway. They came out of school, MIT, Harvard, Yale, and instead of going into research, sitting in an office, they said they wanted to go into the field. They wanted to go up. Watching Catherine Janeway captain a starship empowered them in a way that nothing else could at the time. That is a truthful statement. That is something I could absolutely believe, because at the time that wasn't happening a lot. It's certainly happening a lot now. We're talking about the 90s in Hollywood, where they put on television is a harbinger of things to come. What they put on television is a harbinger of the thing to come. Then she talks about the president, and all I have to say, I will say the same thing I've said before about any actor, especially one, actors. I'm betting, I don't know this for a fact, but I'm just guessing, because I've been around a little bit. So have you guys, that actors probably have identity, like they just a super midlife crisis, like this identity crisis when they start aging out, when the only roles they get, especially for Kate Mulgrew, or a mom, an aunt, a grandma, aging something or other, and their relevancy fades. There's some people who are okay with that, I'm sure, that are probably done with Hollywood. It's like, I did my bit, I'm good. And there's some people who were just their entire self-worth was wrapped around the TV show they were in or anything, and it's got to be soul crushing at the end. It's got to be soul crushing. So that's why I've noticed, and I'm sure you have too, of actors when they get older go a little crazy, or go a lot crazy. Randy Quaid, just as one example, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, they're all going nuts. So when I hear them start talking about politics. I'm like, oh, so you're a political science major because you pretended for a living for a certain amount of years, and you made gobs of money doing it, and that's great. You earned it. You absolutely earned that. It's not an easy thing to do, and not everybody can do it, but you just pretended for a living. And I enjoy when people pretend for a living, but that's all it is. It's nothing more than that. So what you have to say about actual real life things that are very complicated, I don't care. I don't care. And I think you don't do yourself any justice, especially when you talk out of one side of your mouth about I'm being victimized and women, there's no equality here and blah, blah, blah. And then you're calling a leader names and it just comes freely to you. There used to be, with some actors, class in Hollywood where they can certainly think that way, but you're trying to sell yourself. Maybe she's just over it, doesn't care. But this is just another black guy on Star Trek prior to the Star Trek convention. They've been embarrassed. They were on top of the world at Comic-Con. By the way, I wonder how everybody at the Star Trek convention feels. All the big announcements happened a week before. They paid thousands of dollars in some cases for the gold memberships and the silver memberships and the bronze membership, which I have. So I hope they save something, and I hope it's not just another animated series. But by the way, you have to pay extra for autographs. You have to pay extra for practically everything. For pictures and autographs, you have to pay extra. Now, I ponied up for one person. There's only one person. Well, maybe two. I might change my mind, because if Q's there, then I'll probably get a picture with him. By the way, I have a 1/6 scale Q that I'm going to put in the background here. But yeah, they're charging up the wazoo for this place. Plus, it's Vegas. So William Shatner, I'm going to go get a picture and autograph with William Shatner. And then I bought Mrs. Nerdrotic will be getting a picture with William Shatner on the bridge of the Enterprise. And I got that for her. I'm just on the outside chance they don't let me in. They probably will. I mean, I don't know if they can ban me from the convention, but if they would have done it, they would have done it already. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting going. So it's another black guy. It's an embarrassment. So right after all these great announcements of, well, yay, more short treks and Picard, Robert Meyer Burnett peas in their soup, like big time. That was a Geloja in their soup, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And the other thing, though, Alex Kurtzman, one of the themes of Star Trek Discovery Season 2 was spirituality, which they didn't explore at all, and empathy, because Michael Burnham, if you remember, the reason that Sarek adopted Michael Burnham was to teach Spock empathy, even though he probably was born with it since he was half human and he had a human mother. But he looked at his mother with too much reverence to learn empathy from her. I shit you not. That is the reasoning from the show. So that's why he brought Michael Burnham in, because, she is the epitome of empathy. But I digress. But they don't seem to have a lot of empathy for Brian Fuller, who is a human being, last time I checked. A very creative one, and one, if he stayed on Star Trek, we'd probably have a better Star Trek to talk about. People might still have complaints, but as far as narratives are concerned, it wouldn't be the mess that it is. I guarantee you, if Brian Fuller was involved, we'd have a very, at the bare minimum, a watchable show. I think it might be better than that. I did like his American Gods Season 1. The show went to crap when he left. Hannibal's a good show. So yeah, I do genuinely feel bad for that guy. Especially finding out like how he reacted when he saw the trailer. Again, you hear the human element, and a lot of creatives don't get a lot of sympathy. And honestly, I don't know how much they deserve. It depends. But if they've been robbed, in my opinion, in this case, and robbed in a way where I guess it's until I hear different, it's perfectly okay to do. I mean, CBS owns Star Trek, so they can do whatever the hell they want. There's just there's certain ways you have to work, and maybe because he according to Robert Meyer Burnett, filed it with the WGA. Maybe they have to give him credit. I don't know. We'll find out. These are things we'll find out. Or maybe you guys know. I haven't checked lately. I've been super busy. Something on my microphone there. But let's get to the chat. Yeah, that sucks for him. And then Kate Mulgrew comes out, and is she going to be there? I'm pretty sure she's going to be there. And she calls the original series misogynist. And among all the things we've gotten this week, we've got the MCU. That's right. I coined that, I think. I was the first one to say it on YouTube. I put it in the title. The MCU, and we've got the Herminator. That one's mine too. And so many other things. God dang it. It's just everything is being gender swapped right now. Even stories that are supposed to have male protagonists, they have to change the story so they are either they are under the power of a woman. I will give you 2 examples of insane story changes that fundamentally undercut main characters of your TV show. Swamp Thing, Sunderland, Avery Sunderland, who is the big bad in the Swamp Thing. He's supposed to be this tycoon, big ass businessman, and the terror of the town, but he has control of all his own money. Well, in Swamp Thing, he actually has to borrow the money from his wife. He doesn't have the money. His wife has the money, which completely undercuts the character at all. He's just a beggar. And he's not this CEO, tycoon type. He's just a beggar. It ruins the character completely for me. And then, without spoiling too much, we'll talk about the Butcher in The Boys. The Butcher, I won't give you details, but they've made changes to the Butcher that undercut his character quite a bit. The Butcher is supposed to be a 100% badass, and he's kind of a 80% badass now because of the changes they made. And it's not the only one that they've made in the show. Now, it's very difficult for me to criticize The Boys because I love the comic series. My friend co-created the comic series. I'm in the comic book, but I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've gotten through 5 episodes, and if it wasn't 2019, if we didn't see this in absolutely everything, if it was independent of itself, some of the changes probably wouldn't bother me that much. But that's not the way things are right now. There are changes in the Swamp Thing. There are changes in The Boys. The only show they didn't F with was The Tick. Every other, I'm sorry, I'm fully expecting it in The Expanse. I just am. It's incredible to me that this shows the power of Seth MacFarlane, that Ed Mercer's allowed to be the captain right now. Even though Kelly did help him get the job a little bit, but that aside, he's still the captain. He's still Ed Mercer, and he's cool. Now he cuts tofu. Yes. It's just in everything. It's just in everything. Yes. The Butcher cuts tofu. Okay. It finally hit me. I'm blonde. It takes a minute to register there. Thank you. Trinoculus P. That was a good one. Okay. We're going to get to a couple super chats here, but it bugs the crap out of me. That was just gnawing at me while I was watching the show. I'm like, what? Why is she lactating? And what the hell is going on here? I'm pretty damn sure when Preacher season 4 comes out, it'll be the Tulip show. Tulip's a major character. We like Tulip. At least in the Preacher show up to now, she has been the flawed Tulip from the comic books, but I fully expect like a Mary Sue Tulip. Let's get to this. I was 15 minutes late because I was working on that thumbnail. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes they take a little while. Those googly eyes don't put themselves there. Okay, I gotta work on that. I gotta get a little faster though. Peter Davis in Australia, $10. I sent you some stuff. Should all have arrived by now. I will be going to my PO box tomorrow. Today was a bit busy, and yes, So now that you can see me on camera, right? Okay. This bookshelf is going to go over there, and there's going to be more action figures on the wall because there's not enough. I don't know. And there's that little space right there. And that Dalek facing the wrong way is bugging the hell out of me. It's been bugging the hell out of me. I can't unsee it. But yes, this bookshelf is going to move over there. That's going to be a pain in the ass. And because I have, one figure at a time, and some of these books are first prints and they're worth, a couple bucks. But back to the super chats. Modalicious, $2. Customary Snowflame reference. Snowflame! Cocaine is his god, and he is the instrument of its will. Cocaine is a hell of a drug. Don't do it. It's bad. Trust me. Trust me. Damn near killed me. I think it did. There was a time I see Dr. Manhattan in the next super chat. Well, there was a time I resembled him quite a bit. It wasn't fun though. It wasn't fun. Gary, I hear Sonali Rashatwar is retiring from coaching. Rational Muscle. This is why I read these things slowly. I can't read that. I cannot read that. I can't read that. It's a reference to, it's $10, and thank you very much. But I can't read that. There's certain things that you could put in there that could get my channel in a lot of trouble if I read them out loud, which I'm sure you guys are going to get me on. I mean, sometimes you're just going and going. I will try not to pull a John Campea, which was hilarious. And John Campea got caught twice, by the way. I heard the first one, but then Jeremy played me the second one, which was great. So what can I read out of the super chat? Gary, I hear Sonali Rashatwar is retiring from coaching large women to use devices to play the role of Dr. Manhattan. And that's all I can say. Thank you for the $10. Modalicious, $5. A feminist, it's misogyny, historic efforts of men. You are welcome for your comfort and riches, you spoiled beep. Yes, Modalicious. Yeah. Golden Gate Bridge, buildings, infrastructure, Yeah, listen. Egalitarian society, men and women working together. One of the better scenes in Endgame for me was when Pepper and Iron Man were fighting back to back together. That was cool as hell. We need to see a lot more of that. Incredibles, the first movie, not the second movie. I can say now, I did not like the second movie. Did not like it. Love the first movie, one of my favorite all-time movies. But they just did typical, what they're doing right now. So yes, I think we can, I don't like this divisiveness. I don't like the powers that be trying to put a wedge in between men and women to turn them into a voting block. That's all that's going on here. And also to make some money, to use the fake woke marketing. And of course, the tools in the access media who will jump whenever they ask them to give them hundreds of millions of dollars of free advertising. I'll call it out every time. The Big Red Bear for Canadian $5. Mulgrew should give the money back and get herself pulled from the credits on Voyager. What a complete jackass. Completely. Yeah, if it's so misogynist, remove your name from it. If you really feel that way, Kate Mulgrew, if you really feel that strongly about it, put your money where your mouth is. Back out. Say, I want pull an Alan Moore. I want everything stricken I want my name stricken from the credits. I don't want my residuals anymore. You can donate my residuals. Yes, Kate Mulgrew, I'm calling you out right now. Donate all of your residuals from Star Trek to any number of locations where they house battered women, abused women. There's a couple places here in San Francisco you can donate to. I'm sure they'd be happy to have that money. They need it. For the real cases there are out there. So Ruin of House Roundhead for $9.99. Did you get a chance to look at my Con of Thrones videos or photos? Also, I could be meeting Jake Gyllenhaal, Tom Hiddleston, and Charlie Cox from Netflix's Daredevil next month. Cool. Where? I haven't had a chance yet, but I'll probably take a look at them this weekend, because part of the reason this is going to be a short one tonight, 2 hours, is I'm going to be doing another one tomorrow night. And we are going to be going over the Comic-Con panel, because Mahler mentioned it to me and I watched it, and it's pretty entertaining because the giant elephant in the room that was season 8 is there in force. And now you see why Dan and Dave did not show up. And it looks like Seth Rogen called him out. I'm going to go over that article. But yeah, that's probably going to be tomorrow. We'll go over that tomorrow, because I can use audio from it and we can go over it together. I think that'd be kind of fun, right? But I didn't have time to do it tonight. So tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time, join me here. Keep an eye on my website. Time might change. Michael Deich, if I said that wrong, I'm sorry. $5. Genevieve Buhold was cast as the captain, but oh yeah, that's right. But walked off the set during filming. That's the only reason Kate got the role. I thought she sucked. Did she walk off the? She was I won't say a popular actor, but a sought after actor at the time. I vaguely remember this, Michael. And I thought she sucked though, but she walked. I will take your word for it, because I don't know that. So she walked off the set. She was French, right? Right. She had an accent. I remember watching some of it and it was bad. It was really bad. Kate Mulgrew is great as Janeway. Modalicious for $10. Speaking of political science, I feel as if my degree is completely useless. Having never before read Cicero in any of my classes prior to hearing him quoted on Razorfish show, I was cheated. Cicero. You know what? I gotta, you know what? Do you think Razorfist to come on this show? I love Razorfist. I don't know if he likes me. I don't know if he knows who I am, but I have an equal passion to Daredevil that he does. I watch all of his Daredevil videos. I think his History of Metal videos are freaking fantastic. And he turned me on to a couple things I had never heard of because of his videos. So yeah, I like Razorfist a lot. Maybe we should get him on. I don't agree with him on everything, but I don't agree with anybody on everything. Yeah, Razorfist is good. I like Razorfist. I saw that he talked to Jeff. Maybe I'll talk to Jeff and see if he'll come on the show. The Price is Right review for $2. Kapla, bro. Late to this stream. Any news I missed? Just the Kate Mulgrew stuff. The only news that is breaking that I haven't seen anybody else talking about is there is going to be a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy show on Hulu. We will go over that article momentarily. I just want to get through a couple. Yeah, we're doing okay here. So we're gonna stop right there, and we are gonna go. I'm gonna go to the chat. I want to mix in some other chat. What happened to the boys? For me, it was butchered. Frog Aldous. Is that how you say it? Frog Aldous. Well, that sounds like a review. So what happened to the boys? They made fundamental changes from the comics that I do not particularly like. For one, I should wait till my review. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but Butcher's role, we'll say the Butcher is one of the main characters. I wouldn't say the main character, but he's one of the main characters. His role has changed completely. It's depowered him. It's basically made him a loser. He's a lot of things. He's not a loser and a beggar, kind of like Sunderland is in Swamp Thing. So it's bugging me. It's bugging me, and it sucks because I want this show to run forever. So my friend makes a lot of money off it. But I can't lie to you guys. So I might get in trouble. I doubt it though. We've been friends for a long time. I doubt I know Derek doesn't agree with 70% what I say. I know, but we're still friends because we don't trip on that shit. Yeah, I'm in the comic book. Yes, DW. I'm in issue number 23. Hang on a second. Maybe I can is it accessible? It's somewhat accessible. Hang on. I gotta move Edna.
Hello, darling. I'm Edna.
Let's see if it's there. It is. Hello, darling. I'm Edna. Every time I touch it, that's my talking Edna from the Incredibles.
Okay. Hello, darling. I'm Edna.
That's Brad Bird. Okay. So yes, I'm in. This is issue number 23, but it's from the trade We Gotta Go Now. And I am beardless, by the way. Oh shit, I got the original art right here. I could have just shown you that. Right there. That's me and a guy who used to work for me named Russell Burns, and we don't talk to each other anymore because we don't like each other anymore. That's the way life goes. But yeah, that's me right there. And I'm in another issue where I'm in a suit. Here's the original art where I'm on a bridge right next to A-Train. Right before I die. I die in all the books. Well, and I'm in Happy as well. Derek was kind enough to put me in. I used to hook up so Derek and I became friends because we're toy collectors. That's how we became friends, and we used to geek out over toys. But we met over, he just came to my shop one day and we became friends. But let's go to but I like it. Aside from the character changes, quality wise, it's very good. It's funny. It's got great effects. They do get some stuff right. Another main character is supposed to be a hardcore Christian, and they took that away. There's a reason it was every character change was done for agenda, not for narrative reasons. Okay. There's things that don't work on TV that work in the comic. None of these things would have not worked on TV. The only reason they changed these because it would make the women flawed, which the women are flawed in the comics because Garth Ennis writes how Garth Ennis writes. That's why I was astonished that they wanted to adapt a Garth Ennis book because in these very anti-male sentiment in Hollywood these days, Garth Ennis is very dude-centric. Not a lot of women read Garth Ennis comics. It's just a fact. Some do. There's always some. There's going to be some girl, I love Preacher. Of course. You're part of that 12% of females who bought a Preacher, and it's 12%. That's high. Yes, beardless. That was a long time ago. Snowflame, says Matthew Matson. Yes, we need a Snowflame film. I want a Snowflame Mego. There's got to be a way to make a Snowflame Mego. That's what I would love to have. Preacher didn't translate that well, says Bryce Brierly. I enjoyed it, but it's not anything like the comic. I'm going to give you that. It's a very separate entity. There's a dumb blonde in Zombieland 2. I watched like 30 seconds of that trailer and I was just like, they're going to be at the White House. Wow. I wonder what they're going to be joking about for 2 hours. There is a Christianity is bad narrative, which isn't right. Crazy. But yeah, see, it's a weird thing why they changed that from the character because they were making fun of Christianity. So, and that's not the reason they didn't not want to not make fun of Christianity. They are totally fine with doing that, but they thought it would make the female character look weak. Now, this is just my speculation, but I think this stuff is so obvious at this point. I don't think I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I could be, but I'd love to hear the rationalization. I'm 12%, says Jane. Good. Jane, you have good taste. I'm not, I wish more women bought Preacher because I would have sold more, and more women should read Preacher, but they just didn't. It's a very, yeah, it's like metal. Okay. Yeah. There were some women who liked, and I'm talking not hair metal. Okay. We're talking metal. Yeah. Sepultura, Slayer, not a lot of girls at those concerts. Okay. At those shows. Some, Mrs. Nerdrotic would go there. That's why I like her. Dun, 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 dun. Matthew Matson says, yeah, Preacher season 3 was on par with season 1. Season 2 was pretty bad. But you were there. We chronicled every episode. God, it has been a long time since I've reviewed television. So I'm going to be doing a full boys review on this channel before I go to Star Trek. Somehow I'm going to invent another day in the week just for this week. It will be called Beard Day. We'll call it Beard Day. It'll be in between Monday and Sunday. And I'm going to get all my work in that bubble of time that I'm going to invent because that's what I need to do. I want to thank the official Dougie J, who was my childhood friend, who is a brilliant resource for this channel. He and I are going to be talking. I'm thinking about bringing him on to help behind the scenes because I trust him, for one. That's very important. I've known him for decades, and he's a good dude. Gave me a job when nobody else would. This man did. So yeah, I'm gonna hire him on here at Nerdrotic. Okay, so here we go. Television show. But I need to get some there's a lot of things I need for the channel now that they're it doesn't look like to me that Hangouts is getting replaced with anything. Nobody said anything. I've read one article that they might use there's a meetup, but I don't know if that's going to be attached to YouTube. So it looks like I'm going to have to get a PC. It looks like I'm going to have to get some streaming software, and like good streaming software. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of stuff. Plus there's the pop-up shop and the shop that's coming next year. So yes, I will probably be doing my, I feel very weird about crowdfunding, like extremely weird about it, but it will only be once. I will only need to do it once, and I'm not sure when. Okay, let's go to Deadline. And when you see the showrunner, if you guys don't know, for Hitchhiker, it's a head scratcher. It is a head scratcher. I don't know what you guys, if anybody saw the Jack Ryan show, but did you get a Hitchhiker vibe from that guy? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy TV series in works at Hulu from Carlton Cuse and Jason Fuchs. Fuchs. Fuke you. Exclusive Douglas Adams comedy sci-fi classic, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, is headed to American television. I have learned that Hulu is developing a TV series adaptation of the novels from prolific showrunner Carlton Cuse, Lost, Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan, and the Lock and Key show that nobody's ever seen, and feature writer Jason Fuchs, Wonder Woman, Ice Age, Continental Drift. The project hails from ABC Signature, the cable streaming division of ABC Studios, where Cuse and his Genre Arts production company are under an overall deal. See where it says panic right there? Do you think that's a coincidence? I don't think that's a coincidence that it says panic right there. A British popular culture staple, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy originated as a comedy radio series that became a hugely successful series of novels that has been translated into more than 30 languages and has become essential reading for high school students around the world. High school students. Well, I read it in high school. I still read it. The series follows the intergalactic adventures of Arthur Dent, a hapless Englishman following the destruction of Earth by the Vogons, a race of unpleasant and bureaucratic aliens. Cuse and Fuchs, both fans of the iconic title. Yeah, are they fans of the title or the book? I'm sure they're fans of the money that the title will bring from the book. Will write, executive produce, and showrun the proposed series. There's still hope that this might not happen. We need the UK to rise up. Once you get your Brexit stuff all worked out, we need you to invade America and take the rights back. I will allow this to happen. I will be a British spy for this. This cannot happen. We cannot have the Yanks defile Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Can the Queen do something? Can she get off her bum? Yeah, I said it. Get off her bum and do something, because this has to be stopped. A modern updating of the classic story will now be in development. What needs to be modernized about the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Putting cell phones in it, maybe. Okay. If that's what you mean, fine. Why not make it a period piece? Why not make it take place in the 80s? That would be a lot better. As a matter of fact, that's the way you should go. Modern. You know what they mean by modernizing. Arthur Dent will be a female. They'll make it a black female lead for Arthur Dent. Of the classic story, which is now in development at Hulu via ABC Signature. Oh, I already read that shit. Come on. Why are you repeating yourselves? Deadline. Disney owns the Hitchhiker's Guide IP. I'm still on the air. It makes me very sad. It makes me very sad that Disney owns fucking everything. What is it? 8 out of the 10 top grossing movies of all time, but nobody had a problem with this merger with Fox. Disney owns the Hitchhiker's Guide IP. The studio produced the 2005 piece of shit. Sorry, it was a piece of shit, where Mos Def mumbled through the damn movie and Ford Prefect is my favorite character in literature, and he mumbled throughout the whole damn movie. Which Arthur was played by Martin Freeman. Martin Freeman did not do a good job. I don't like Martin Freeman as Arthur Dent, and I'll tell you, I'll show on camera. You know what my problem with Martin Freeman is? Because I didn't like him as the Hobbit. I like the Hobbit films, but I did not like him as the Hobbit, and I didn't like him as Arthur Dent, because I like him as Watson a little bit in Sherlock. But here's the deal with Martin Freeman. He always gets cast as the everyman because he's got a very normal British everyman face, but he's not. He's kind of a pretentious D-bag, and it just shows through in everything he does. He's not a good enough actor to hide it, in my opinion. So when he's cast, he looks like the everyman, but there's something fake about it. And that's why it did, I didn't like him as Bilbo at all. I liked everything else. Believe it or not, I like the Hobbit films, but I didn't like him as Bilbo, and I really didn't like him as Arthur Dent. You know who would have been a great Arthur Dent at the time? Perfect Arthur Dent. Absolutely perfect. Arthur is Colin Firth. Colin Firth would have been, he's freaking Arthur Dent. Not now, not the thin Colin Firth. I'm talking about when he had a little more weight on him, like the Love Actually Colin Firth. That was Arthur Dent. Yeah. Don't get me freaking started on that. I know nobody wants to talk about Hitchhiker except for me, but this is a big deal with me because Disney's going to fuck it up. And they hired the guy who worked on Lost to work on Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Have we run out of funny people? Funny British people? God, I'm sure the chat, come up with a better showrunner. I'm sure you can do it within the first 5 people. You'll come up with a better showrunner. Jamie Matheson. Let freaking Stephen Moffat would be better. Yeah, I said it. Stephen Moffat would be. Russell T Davies. Russell T Davies would be brilliant with Hitchhiker. Russell T Davies. See, I just came up with your showrunner. But no, let's get the guy from Lost. Kurtzman, shut up. Shut up. Russell T Davies as showrunner of Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. But now it's, you know what? It'll be J.J. Abrams. Yeah, you're funny. That's funny. Terry Gilliam, if they were going to do a Hitchhiker movie, should direct the Hitchhiker film. Yes, I agree. 100%. 12 Monkeys guy. Or the guy who ran the 12 Monkeys TV show. I forgot who that is, but he's not British, though, I don't think. I forgot who ran the 12 Monkeys TV show. Idris Elba. Idris Elba should, well, he's going to play Arthur and Ford and Zaphod. And Trillian. Idris Elba as the world. That's going to be the name of his autobiography. That's the name of his autobiography. All right, let me get back. I got to get to a couple super chats here. All right. Where are we at? Okay, we're good on time. Yeah, that's freaking awful news. Is there anything else? It's writing credits. Cuse is executive producing Netflix Lock and Key series, another Adams TV series adaptation, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency, recently aired on BBC America for 2 seasons. And look what the Americans did to that show. They made it so not Dirk Gently. It was a show that was called Dirk Gently that had some good actors in it. That was not very good. Simon Jones will forever be Arthur Dent. I know that. Simon Jones is brilliant. The only thing good in the movie was Alan Rickman as Marvin. Oh God, I'm so depressed. All right, back to super chats. Nicholas Horton. What's up, man? For £2, the MCU will replace Spider-Man with Spider-Gwen without a doubt. It's the MCU. It's happening. As a matter of fact, when I get through these super chats, we're going to go to the article that I already have done a video. It will be released in about an hour and a half after this live stream is over. As soon as that live stream is over, this will be unlisted and that video will be popped in. So save the link. You can share it around and stuff. But for algorithmic reasons, I have to unlist it. But there'll be another one tomorrow. We're going to do another one tomorrow. And then there's the Inquisition on Sunday. And this Hitchhiker thing will certainly be a part of the Inquisition because Doomcock is a fan of Hitchhiker as well. Who isn't a fan of Hitchhiker? You're either a fan or you haven't read the book. That's it. But that's the I don't have a lot of expectations that I put on Friends. Don't steal, just be cool. I don't care if people don't call me or if they're late. I don't care. Friends are friends. But you have to like Hitchhiker, or you at least have to respect it, or we can't be friends. Frank Palmieri for $4.99 rewatched John Carter. Seemed to be the template for taking the male hero down a notch by a powerful whammon. Deja Thoris. Frank, I like that movie. I'll have to rewatch it. At the time, I didn't notice that. The stuff that has been going on, this has been going on for a while. Okay, this didn't just start happening. You're right. This has been going on for a few years. Doctor Who was doing it. The Doctor became a guest star in his own show, Peter Capaldi. They have been doing this for quite some time because these things are coordinated. They are planned. It's almost like Harvey Weinstein's, the guy was a scumbag. Everybody knew it. But it's almost like they had that information for a long time and decided to use it at a certain time, to use it to their best advantage. If things look coordinated, they generally are. Phil G for $5. Star Trek Continues episode Embracing the Winds, as opposed to breaking them, address the subject of women being captains. I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that again. But it's Star Trek Continues. But it can be in headcanon for sure, Phil. We love Star Trek Continues. Ryan P, $5. Hey Gary, I have been wanting to read some Punisher comics, and I was wondering if you have a particular run I should start with. Welcome back, Frank. Garth Ennis. I know there's the Jerry Conway stuff from the 80s. That would be something I would dip into. Are you a comic fan and you just haven't read Punisher comics? Because I would start at the beginning. I would actually go to some Daredevil, read some Frank Miller Daredevil with Punisher in it. That's where the origins of the modern Punisher started, with Frank Miller, as with many things. But welcome back, Frank. Trade is, you can't go wrong with that. That's damn good. Adam Child for $1.99. Have you heard of Netflix's Another Life? Thoughts? No, I have not. I have been watching bits and pieces of Dark, the German show. I like it. It's properly weird, and it has one hell of a soundtrack. Now, it takes a little getting used to. I'm gonna have to watch it with subtitles because I can't just the voiceover sounds like a cartoon, like they voice it like a cartoon, and it bugs me a little bit. But the visuals and the music are just amazing. Technocratic concentration camp for Australian $14.99 in the boys comics that I just started watching. Are all of the female superheroes supposed to be kind of good? And are all the male superheroes worthless assholes? No. All the superheroes are worthless assholes, but they have, there's different levels of it. Okay. So the superheroes are celebrities. They are poking fun at celebrities. And imagine if celebrities had superpowers. That's how it was supposed to be. So this group was not sent out to kill them per se. They were sent out to keep them in check, to embarrass them, to get compromising stuff on them so they would stay in line because they could take over the world. Now, each member of the boys has a particular reason not to like soups. It's a very nihilistic point of view. It is Garth Ennis kind of working out how much he hates superheroes, although he likes to write comic books. Garth is a complicated dude. He likes to see himself as like kind of a badass. Like he'll do stuff. He came to San Francisco one time to go check out the great white sharks. He got in the shark cage and did that. I not a huge fan of the guy as a person, but like his writing quite a bit. Crime Sweeper, but no. The female characters, one of them is like really naive. She's not an asshole though. But most of the superheroes are supposed to be assholes. That's the way it is. The TV show is doing it that way though, because it's current year. Crime Sweepers, the web series, $4.99. Are you going to do a meetup in Vegas? Yes. Watch Crime Sweepers on Amazon. Support us, non-woke filmmakers. Well, we will once we check out the work. Thank you very much for the $4.99. Is it like a show on Amazon? Like, what's the deal? What's the deal with that? So Vegas meetup is at the Millennium Fandom Bar. Let me pull up the website at 8 p.m. a week from tomorrow. The information will be on my website, but let me give it to you now. or a week from today. I'm sorry, I misspoke. A week from today. It's Friday night, 8 p.m. Not tonight, next Friday at the Millennium Fanda Bar, this is it. They have no idea we're coming. Well, I'm just gonna go. It's a bar. I mean, you can just go, and that's what we did in San Diego, and it worked out just fine. So I went to this bar last time I was in Vegas 2 years ago. It was owned by a French guy named Alex. He's really a cool guy. Sat down and talked to me and Mrs. Nerdrotic for hours. So it is a sports bar, except it's a nerd bar. So you just take the concept of a sports bar and you do geeky stuff. And this is it. I'm trying to get a picture of the actual bar. There we go. So yeah, you can read comics. It's got Star Trek stuff everywhere. It is always running superhero films. It's a little bit, it's just past the Stratosphere, away from the Strip. So it's getting into dirty Vegas. It's getting a little bit into dirty Vegas, about a block in. You don't want to walk around over there too much outside of the bar, but that's it right there. Let me see if I can enlarge this picture for you. It's a fantastic place. There we go. Yeah, I had a lot of fun there. And there's the improper hitchhiker thing right there. And we're going to be there from 8 to whenever we want to leave, which could be awfully late. Mrs. Nerdrotic will be there. And I do believe other YouTubers will be there, like Tom and Rob, and maybe Mecca will show up. Proper Jeremy might show up. By the way, subscribe to Proper Jeremy if you can. He's so close to 1,000. Maybe he hit it. I'm not sure. But I don't have time to bring on anybody because I'm going to be off in about a half an hour, and we have much to get through. So yeah, subscribe to if one of my mods could put in Proper Jeremy's YouTube channel. If is a member of the Fandom Menace up and coming channel, and he's close to 1,000. I mean, getting monetized, which is very exciting and good for him. And he's a good dude. I got to meet him. He went to Disneyland on my little Disneyland adventure. He was there. Met some members of the Fandom Menace, and I'm looking forward to meeting more at the Star Trek convention, which I'm only probably going to go one day to the convention. I'm probably just going to go Saturday. So maybe on days I don't go, I can maybe, I don't know, we can give my ticket. We have to find a fair way to, like, maybe a raffle at the meetup or something to give my ticket away or something for Sunday if somebody wants to go on Sunday. It's a bronze level seat where you get a seat, and I think I don't know if you get food or not. You better get food. I think I paid $1,200 for the stupid thing. $900, $1,200, something like that. Really regretting that decision, by the way. I should have just got a regular day pass. John Cacozo for $5. Hey, Gary, great meeting you and Jeremy in San Diego. Fun times in the real world. Posted my Comic-Con best costumes video if you can check it out. I will. Is the oh, yeah, okay, I know where to find out. What's up, John? I still got to go to the site and get all those pictures, man. I got tons of pictures. Maybe I'll show that off on the live stream tomorrow. Yeah, it was great meeting you. It was great meeting you. Thanks for taking all the professional pictures, homeboy. The San Diegan right there. That's a San Diegan. So that's the Millennium Fandom Bar. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Oh, what else? Oh, okay. So we had the Kate Mulgrew thing, and I wanted to talk about another Bounding in the Comics article. New rumor reveals how the Fantastic Four will be introduced in the nope, not that one, That Cats trailer looks horrific. I mean, the stuff of nightmares, for real. There it is. So 2 articles to go over before we go, and they're going to trigger you properly. This one, not so much. The next one I'm going to show you. I mean, this is just more of the same. So this is from our friends at Bounding in the Comics. Majority of Marvel Eternals cast are race and gender swapped from Jack Kirby's original creation. So while they're giving all this lip service to how much they love Jack Kirby, we're going to come and change the characters because it doesn't work anymore. So before I even get into this article, before I get to the next article, nobody has a problem with diversity and inclusion. Nobody has a problem with more women being on screen, more women in power, as long as it's done naturally within a narrative. But if you keep doing what you're doing, Hollywood, you're going to lose your audience. They're just not going to give a shit anymore. Apathy will follow the outrage. It does every single time, and it's happening in the comics, and you are making the same mistakes. So there will be a point where people, like myself or young Ripa, who's all over this shit, we're going to stop warning you, and we're just going to sit back and watch it happen and have a little chuckle. Because while I've already got, the death of the comic book industry is something I've accepted. It sucks. It's not something it's not something I'm good with. But you have to accept it at some point. You have to say goodbye. You have to make your peace. And I've made my peace with comic books, with modern comic books. And I never thought I would ever say that. But it's gotten so bad, I can't support it anymore. I won't support it anymore. And it's easy because it's so bad. It's very easy to boycott comics because I don't have the desire to buy them. It's not like it's hard. It's very easy to completely ignore it. And that's why it's been very easy for a lot of comic fans to completely ignore it. And that's why so many comic shops have closed. But you have this article and then the next one I'm going to read you. And these people who are driving everything in the ground think they're doing good with tokenism. They think they're actually making the world a better place. One actually states it in her article. Now she's a 20-something dingbat from the UK who's probably never been out of London, but she's written one play. So all of a sudden she's the expert and the arbiter of all things Marvel Cinematic Universe. But this is by Jorge from Bounding Into Comics, who we like. At San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel Studios rolled out their cast list for their upcoming Eternals and revealed most of the characters had been either race swapped or gender swapped from Jack Kirby's original creation. During their Hall H presentation, Marvel confirmed the rumor that Game of Thrones actor Richard Madden would play Icarus. In a twist, Angelina Jolie was announced to take on the role of Thena instead of the previous reports that she would play Cersei. The rest of the announced cast include Kamal, the guy from Silicon Valley as Kingo. And I have names that are stuck in my head from when I was a kid. Like I still say Thanos, and I know it's Thanos, but I say Thanos. It's very hard for me not to say Princess Leia. I said Princess Leia for years. I know it's Leia. I know they said it in the movie, but us kids back in the 70s used to call her Princess Leia, like all the time. So yeah, I know. I'm just stuck on the names I'm stuck on. The rest of the announced cast includes the guy from Silicon Valley. Here we go. Well, let's just take a look at a picture of everybody. There we go. There you go. It's the Eternals. I don't have a problem with most of this. None of these characters are stuck in most people's heads. The Eternals are not. It's not a comic that sold well, that a lot of people were into. Neil Gaiman took a crack at it, and it wasn't very good, in my opinion. Richard Madden as Icarus would be good, but I would rather have him play the Doctor, as he was rumored to play. Wow, things would be different if he was the Doctor. But there you go. There's Gilgamesh and Thor. So Laura Ridolph's Makari is now female, black, and deaf. Female, black, and deaf. Kamal Najina's Kingo is now Indian instead of Japanese. Salma Hayek's Ajak is now female, Hispanic, and lesbian. Oh, it says Lebanese. I thought she was going to say lesbian. Oh, Lesbanese. She's Lesbanese. Well, you half expect it. Don Lee's Gilgamesh is now Asian, and Leah McHugh's Sprite is now female and a young girl. Because young boys don't exist in Hollywood. Well, they do, but not on screen. The miscast of Kingo is such a waste, especially when you think of those who they could have put in the role instead of, for example, Ken Watanabe. Has experience playing a samurai, as seen in The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise. You can also have Takeshi Kaneshiro, who, if you had seen House of Flying Daggers, you know that would have been, he has the chops to do that. But instead, they put in the guy from Silicon Valley. And then there's Eric July right there. There's our boy, Young Ripa. He is cool. He says, all right, man.
I know a lot of people want me to get to talking about Eternals and stuff.
Go watch his video here. I'll link it in the description.
So I'm not there yet.
I'll link it in the description. Hang on just a second. This is for you guys for later. Subscribe to Young Ripa. Dude is freaking good. On point pretty much all the time on comic books. And he's been on this stuff the most out of a lot of the, I mean, other than the comic book YouTubers like your boy Zach and stuff, who are naturally on top of this stuff. But he's on top of it as far as film, in my opinion, more than I am. I try to spread it around. I try to spread it around a little bit. I try to spread the love. I don't want to be just talking about one thing all the time. Makes it very bad for your channel. Of course, the main, I don't know, what's the main stuff here? Doctor Who, Star Trek, Game of Thrones, when that stuff was on, and then everything else. So there's that, but this is worse. So this is going to be the video that's going to drop in about an hour. All right. It's going to drop in about an hour. And this one is, I'm going to show you the Bounding in the Comics version. My video goes over the main from the Independent. I'm sure you guys have already known about it. Where the hell did it go? I'm trying to kill it. There it is. KT Roberts. We're going to make you famous, KT. Not me, but other YouTubers are. Once they make videos on this, because everybody needs to make a video on this one, because it's that ridiculous. It's fracking ridiculous. And John F. Trent sent this to me. So John, if you're out there, you're watching, thanks, man. Bounding into Comics. KT Roberts at the Independent. Let's topple every male, pale, or sorry, restart. KT Roberts at the Independent. Let's topple every pale, male, and stale superhero character we can. Can we take out the male and start with this one right here? This is the truth, people. We're getting the truth from KT Roberts. All these people saying we're just being inclusive. We want more seats at the table. No, we want to take something away from you. We want to punish the straw man and women out there because we have personal issues to work out. I don't know what the fuck it is, but we want to destroy what you like. That's what this is about. This is what this article is about. Now it does it in the guise of we're doing this for the greater good. British website The Independent ran an article written by KT Roberts calling, by the way, I went over her Twitter. I go over her Twitter in the video. She doesn't post anything Marvel Comics. She has one post that I saw about the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and of course it was about the A-Force. So before I even get started here, she is one of those who is the 0.04% of comic book fans, quote unquote, that she doesn't read any comics. She's talking about the MCU, that she wants everything. She wants she wants the world society to bend to her instead of adapting to society. It's a subject I brought up with my son who's on the spectrum. There are some out there who actually believe that we should change society to accommodate him. Now, he is aware that society will not do that for him because that's what I tell him. He has to adapt to society. He was born with something that could be looked at as a disadvantage. And if you want to look at it like that the rest of your life, then life will be a disadvantage. But if you just accept it, the world isn't going to bend over for me. I'm going to have to do what I need to do to adapt to the world. Then he will be better prepared. At least that's what I tell him as a dad. There's no instruction manual on this. I just thought that would be the best advice. So let's get on to KT Roberts, who wants the world to bend to her needs. Okay, because daycare was good to her. She was probably raised in London, very posh London. She would be straightforward and to the point as to why she wants to topple every pale, male, and stale superhero. By the way, she's very white. Superheroes get bums in seats. Well, goddamn Sherlock Holmes. And sneaking in social justice messaging under the radar is a tried and tested way of speaking to the masses. Again, I admire her for her honesty. This is the truth. We are getting the truth from her. She goes on to explain why Marvel and DC need to specifically be toppled in an attempt to refute the question about why Hollywood can't create new superheroes. Robert states original characters, even the ones created by behemoths like Marvel and DC, have nothing like the traction of our old favorites, meaning we're starting the race seconds before the big boys cross the finish line. Stealing a few of their spots at the front is not only positive, but absolutely necessary, she claims. Quite apart from anything else, it genuinely makes art better and bigger. So replacing characters, making the Doctor female, making Thor female, doing the Herminator, that makes art better. It's better than creating your own character. Now she is just convinced that they will continue to do this and that male fans of any race will stick around. That we're just going to stick around. That we just like when we see the Amazing Spider-Man, we just like the title. We don't care who's in the costume. We don't care what the costume looks like. Maybe the costume has a couple extra bumps on it. We don't care. We're just going to buy everything. Certainly, there are fans out there like that. A lot of them were at Comic-Con. But most fans are not like that. Most normies are not like that. You've got the normies' attention now, MCU. You got it now, but it will be gone. It will go somewhere else. There'll be a Big Brother or a Lost or a Breaking Bad or another Game of Thrones. There'll be something. Some little shiny light that will distract them and they will move on. And then we'll be left with Tumblr freaking pop vinyl people who won't buy anything because they don't read any of these comics. This is simply a fallacy and is easily refuted by actual success stories. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles first appeared in comic books in the pages in 1984. The 3 short years later, they were already taking the world by storm with an animated series. In just 6 years after their first live action film in 1990, Japanese manga My Hero Academia, its imprint run in 2014. By October 2015, it was announced that it would be adapted into an anime series. The first season would premiere a year later in 2016. The popular manga series would go on to release. And listen, people wouldn't shut up about this, like at all. And it's good. My son loves it. My son loves it. The 2 Heroes in 2018, a live action version of the series is currently in development from Legendary Entertainment. God damn it. I didn't mean to do that. DC Comics character Harley Quinn was actually created for the wildly popular Batman the Animated Series. That's right. Marvel Comics Stan Lee and Jack Kirby created Black Panther all the way back in 1966. See, the thing they're pointing out is KT doesn't bring up any characters. She just says, we need to take characters away. And we don't need to make any. She completely ignores that the Marvel Comics universe has diverse characters up the wazoo, and they don't have to be the popular ones. In film, you can certainly develop a Z-list character into an A-list character. It is absolutely possible if you put the right actor and the right creative team behind it. Why does the Marvel Cinematic Universe exist? Everybody answered this question correctly. Robert Downey Jr. Robert Downey Jr. is the reason it exists. No Robert Downey Jr., no MCU. You get Edward Norton's Hulk. No, it's Robert Downey Jr. You had a charming actor that everybody liked who was perfectly cast in his role. The costume looked like freaking Iron Man. Everything looked like Iron Man. It looked like the villain looked like Ironmonger. It looked like it did in the comics, and you had a good actor in the costume. But if you looked at that cast shot of Marvel Phase 4 and you go compare it to Marvel Phase 1 cast shot or the Avengers cast shot, and it will look like the difference between the original Predator movie and the most recent one's cast shot. Good luck. But KT Roberts actually thinks that it's the social justice messaging and they're doing the right thing and everything's going to continue just fine. There will be absolutely no changes to anything. Well, good luck with that. Fucking good luck with that. I'm just, at this point, fine. Do it. Change everything. Make Spider-Man gay. Go ahead. Rock on. I'm just going to watch it happen. Where's the popcorn? It'll be more entertaining than the films. The fall. And then Disney, Bob Iger will sneak out of Disney. He'll retire before everything falls. And it'll be somebody else's problem. Kevin Feige will quietly, move on. I'm surprised he actually hasn't done that yet. I kind of thought he would go out on top. I was wrong about that. I was predicting he would quit sometime after, Endgame, within a year of Endgame, and he didn't. So see, I'm wrong all the time. Just ask Mrs. Nerdrotic. Selena Kyle is here. Because that's Selena Kyle. That looks like SJW Mary Sue to me. $1.99. When, where will you announce the Star Trek convention meetups? I did. Millennium Fandom Bar, 8 p.m. a week from today, Friday. It will be on Twitter and it'll also be on my website, but the date will be August 2nd. It's kind of going to double for a birthday party too. Now it's a couple weeks before my birthday, but it's close enough. Turning 50. If I make it. Thank you, Selena. Larry for $9.99. Captain Rachel Garrett of Enterprise C was the first female captain in Star Trek. The Next Generation's Yesterday's Enterprise, 5 years before Voyager and Janeway Wayward. I think they just meant lead and they didn't put it in there. But yes, Larry. She was not the first female captain of Star Trek. You are correct. As a matter of fact, I don't know the captain's name. Like I said, huge Star Trek fan. I can't call myself a Trekkie because I don't recall names, ships, and designations like that. But there was a female captain in Star Trek 6, right? And there probably was one before that. And but when did Star Trek 6 come out? So yeah, the one in TNG would probably have come out before that because Star Trek 6 came out, what, in 80? God, I can't remember. 91, I think. 90 or 91, which I like that movie a lot. Matthew Werney for $5 to modernize Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. They will glorify the state and highlight the evil of not wanting to build a highway to benefit the collective. That's true. They'll make it a corporation decision. They wouldn't make the state look bad. You're right, Matthew. You're absolutely right. Time Traveler registered trademark for Australian $2. Roog is up on Amazon Prime doing new apps. Roog. Oh, that's the name of your show. So you guys putting up these shows on Amazon Prime, is it like, how do you get that? Can you just put anything you want on Amazon Prime? Is it like is it just like creating content for YouTube? I don't know. Let me see. Let me look into that. Flicks for each title you can choose and earn royalties based on hours streamed by Prime members. Okay. So yeah. So can anybody do this? Do you have to be a Prime member? It's called Prime Video Direct. Flexibility. For each title you can choose to earn royalties based on hours streamed by Prime members. A review, share, or for rentals, purchases, monthly channels, and or impressions, or any combination of reach. Make your titles available through Prime Video in the US and other locations on all supported devices. Fire TV, optimize. Yeah, I didn't know you could do that on Amazon. So you can put stuff up on Amazon. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Check it out. Thank you for the super chat. I will have to watch it. I have not watched it. Is it called? I mean, if I search Roog, is that what's going to show up in Amazon Prime? Well, you should put the whole title in there if you want to shout it out. Time Traveler. If it's called Roog, I will check it out. Somebody's messaging me. I usually don't do this, but okay. Okie dokie. Sorry about that, folks. I will check that out in a second, Time Traveler. Thank you for the Australian $2. Glinzer for $5. I think Marvel's Wham and Power narrative began with Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3. Yeah. I mean, I would say the Wham and Power narrative started happening prior to Harvey Weinstein. That's why this thing was very coordinated. Okay. Harvey Weinstein was a scumbag, and they had plenty of info on him, and he was made an example. So he was the example. And then they took out a few other people. It was a huge power grab. And then all of a sudden, J.J. Abrams and his wife practically run Hollywood. The Anointed One by Steven Spielberg. I mean, things usually are as they seem. And Hollywood is not in a better place. Movies are pretty bad right now. They are bad. One of these days, I'm going to pull up a list of what came out 30 years ago compared to today, and it's just a joke. It's a bloody joke. Television is better than it used to be, but I was shouting to everybody who would listen that the long form narrative television is the future until it got woke, and then that started ruining absolutely everything. It's there's very few things I can watch right now. The Orville is one of them. The Expanse is one of them, unless. See, I'll be honest with you about The Expanse because I've read the books. The books are kind of woke at some point. They get a little woke as they go on. And what the show has done is kept that out of the show. Everything that the show actually adds to some of the characters because there's Mary Sue's in the books. Some of the writing is iffy in the books because they put out a book every year. So I kind of forgive them for that. I don't follow the writers on Twitter because they're obnoxious. To be honest with you, they're really obnoxious on Twitter. I don't know if it's them or somebody else is running their account, but like a complete hothead runs their account and says some vile shit. Nobody from the TV show does. And I separate that. But I would not recommend if you're a centrist and if you're a left of center or center right or right, don't follow them. Just don't, or it'll ruin your enjoyment of the show. And they don't realize that, or they don't care. I don't know. But everybody else involved in the show is pretty damn cool. The production office and stuff, they don't play any of that crap. And generally what I try to do is I don't follow any celebs on Twitter. Or it would just ruin everything for me. And it's very easy they're free to say what they want on Twitter. I just won't follow them. I won't hear it. We're good. Then I just see your art and we have no problem. Hey, Gary, new Black Adder series in the works, taking the P155 out of Snowflake Millennials. Taking the piss out of Snowflake Millennials. I hope so. I certainly hope so, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. Seek the Light for $5. Did you get a survey from Netflix? Many of the questions were woke. Like, do you feel like the character represents your ethnicity? I did not. Oh boy. I heard somebody outside of the Orville experience. There was an Asian guy, and he said he was very disappointed there wasn't any Asian representation in the show. And I bit my tongue, man. I bit my tongue because I wanted, and I should have probably, but actually there was somebody there who said what I would have said. She's like, if they're going to have representation, it'll be done naturally within the narrative, which that's how you need to do it. You can't represent every race in every show. There's too many races to represent every race in every show. If you need to see, you know what? I don't need to see white people in at all. I don't. That doesn't factor into whether I'm going to watch a show or not. It really doesn't. And as long as it's a sci-fi or superhero or fantasy or a drug deal gone bad, I don't really care who's in it. I don't give a damn. But if you're making a big deal about it first before you're, and it's just done in this disingenuous way, then that takes me out of it completely. And I just see through your bullshit. And that's it. Thank you, Seek the Light, for the $5. And thank you, John Cocozo, again for the $5. I read that one earlier. Tyrone Beard for Australian $5. Hey, Gary, we are calling Alex Kurtzman AK-47 from now on. His initials are Agent 47 from Hitman because he kills everything he touches. Love your work. He does. Thank you, Tyrone. Yes, AK-47. Alex Kurtzman. Is his time at an end? Not soon enough. But again, I will restate what I've said prior in a video, that he has been removed from direct creative control over TV shows. I never said he was fired. Those are words that my insiders used, not all the insiders, but he certainly isn't in control of Picard. And yeah, I still feel vindicated about that, but I haven't heard any of the Dreckies say they were sorry, and I move on with my life. Somehow I'm okay. But I'm sure they're such big Star Trek fans, they're going to go to Las Vegas and be there. I'm sure that, because they're the biggest Star Trek fans in the world, so that you would go. Yeah, this is the first Star Trek convention I've been to in many a moon. I used to go to the Star Trek experience all the time, but actual Star Trek convention, whoo, 20 years, 25 years was the last time I went to one. North American Hamrammer from Wisconsin. Did you see your boy Zach's vid today about the new and overjoyed back issue comic store owner? It's the Valkyrie vid. Said it was excited and freeing again. Yeah, I read that article, and I'll watch the video. So that's what my comic store is going to be. But you know that you've heard that's what my comic store is going to be. It's going to be 100% vintage toys, back issues, used trade paperbacks. I am not going to have a Diamond account. The only new comics I will carry are some Indiegogo titles when I will contact their creators directly. And if we can work out a deal, like I'll certainly sell Mike S. Miller's book because I read it and I like it. It's got to be books I like, Jawbreakers. I would sell Jawbreakers. Sure. I got to read Cyberfrog, but we'll see. We'll see. But I think Ethan's going to do something else to the store. But I'm not buying shit from Diamond. I am not buying anything from Diamond ever again. They fucked me pretty good on the way out the door. And while I will forgive, I will not forget. Adam Child, $4.99, Netflix. And I usually don't say that. I'm not like Mr. Victim. Like, we had some bad blood. There was some shit I did. There was some shit they did. But I paid them back. In my mind, they still owe me about $4,000 worth of comics, which I'm never going to get, which is fine. Again, water under the bridge, but I'm not giving them another penny. A very petty company there. They are very petty. Adam Child for $4.99. Netflix Another Life is about space. Looks Expanse-like. Female lead. Haven't seen it. Probably woke. Thanks for responding. Love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Some stuff can not be woke. I mean, it's very surprising. I don't, it's a female lead and it's not, the thing is that does the female leads disservice. Doctor Who is the greatest example of this. You could have just done a female doctor and did her in the way that you did Janeway. She was just a character in the show. Nothing from the show changed. We went on adventures, didn't make a big deal about everything. And then you ease people in. And if you want to tackle issues, you do it in like season 3 or 4, once you've had a successful transfer from a male doctor to a female doctor with good writing, not emphasizing any partisan politics where you're alienating any of your fans. But they didn't want to just make a female doctor. They wanted to make it woke as hell, which didn't do Jodie any favors at all. If you're going to do a radical change like that, you want to keep the fan base, but they didn't want to keep the fan base. They thought that they were just this is going to be the greatest thing ever. People are just going to rush to this. Again, I feel completely confident when season 12 airs, the ratings will be Peter Capaldi level at best. And then they will fade. As all Doctor Who, even Tennant era, they faded. And the only one that held strong was season 3, 2 or 3. I can't remember. Comic Aussie for Australian $2. Hey, Gary, any news on season 2 for Lost in Space? It's being made, but it will be more of female centric. She's the scientist. Her husband is the flawed, dumb, freaking astronaut. That show was a mess. Fat Gandalf for $9.99, but I heard it's taken its time. It should have been out by now. But so Alter Carbon should have been out by now too. But I don't even know if they're making that. Did they make Alter Carbon yet? Because Anthony Mackie's been doing Endgame and signing up for D+. By the way, did you see D+ will be an add-on on Hulu? Fat Gandalf, we've gone from it's not what you are underneath, it's what you do that defines you, to being defined by what you, Batman Begins, look like and where you put it, MCU, in 10 years. Exactly. You're defined by your twig and berries or your lack of twig and berries, or where you put your twig and berries or where you don't put your twig and berries. We are individual. Yeah, it's. I don't define myself. A lot of things define me. A lot of things define you, not one single thing. What was wrong with CBS using part of Fuller's pitch? Says Policy Otaku. What was wrong with it? Doing it without talking to him first. That's what's wrong with it. And they don't have to. But that's what's wrong with it. It's not policy. It's thank you for the $2. It's not what's wrong with the pitch. Did you watch my video? Did you see what the conclusion I came up with? It was they showed a propensity of borrowing other people's work and using it in their series. And that's something you kind of want to do when you want to show when you're suing somebody for plagiarism, that the person you're suing has a propensity to do it. Melissa's dad has an old saying, if they'll steal $1, they'll steal 100. So if they'll steal one thing, they'll steal another. So the whole point of that video is not whether they could use Brian Fuller's work or not. It shows that they are absolutely willing, able, and don't care what people think about using other people's work because they're unoriginal assholes. They can't think of anything themselves. They are creatively bankrupt. They have no talent. Alex Kurtzman, IMDb, is a nightmare. So what's wrong with using Fuller's pitch? After show running the show for a couple of years and you're multiple episodes in, you can't come up with shit on your own. You seriously can't come up with something on your own. This is your big deal. This is Picard. Everything relies on this show. CBS All Access relies on this show. You put it in the hands of Alex Kurtzman. You pay him all this money and he uses somebody else's idea. That's fucking ridiculous. Oh, CBS must be, I mean, like they're stuck in the contract. There's no way in hell anybody would stick with this asshole. And they must just be behind closed doors. They must freaking like this motherfucker. God damn it. You know, you just know it. And then they got to back him publicly. CBS, you know, you agree with me. You know, do the right thing. Bite the bullet. Buy the guy out. Just listen, it's your money. I can spend your money any way I want. Buy the guy out. It'll be the best money you've ever spent. Crackling for $4.99. Disney needs to subvert our expectations and stop ruining franchises. I would go for selling them because they can't stop ruining them because they're Disney. And what Disney is a girls brand. Disney is a girls brand. I'm not talking about their parks. I'm talking about what they make on screen. They just don't do well with the boy stuff. Never really have. And once the DNA is imprinted on your corporation, it doesn't really change. You can have different CEOs. You can do everything you want. You can buy whatever you want, but you are still Disney through and through, which is little kid cartoons and girl stuff. And then you bought Star Wars and Marvel to get more boys, which it worked. Then you made it into girl stuff. I know that stuff's not supposed to matter, but I'm sorry, I can't control nature as much as I'd like to. Somebody call CERN or HARP or whatever. But you're right, Crackling. TJ Paris for $5. They blew their load to announce She-Thor for woke points. Most filmmakers would want to spring that on you in the narrative. Yep. Why would they talk about this 2 years before it coming out? Because they needed something to talk about. They needed some interest generated because other than that, it was Marshall, I can't say his first name. Ali as Blade was a very positive thing, even though you know that story's going to be woke as hell. And the TV shows that we knew about, the Black Widow prequel, that sounds very boring and average to me. It doesn't move the needle for me at all. And that sucks. Scarlett Johansson deserved much better. But a PG-13 Black Widow, yeah, I can honestly miss that one. I don't feel the need to review it, to watch it, anything. I don't think that movie will make a lot of money. Not unless they fill it with Avengers. But it's a prequel. It's not moving the story forward. What else? The Doctor Strange concept sounds fun. Except he'll probably be a guest star in his own movie, kind of like Ant-Man was in Wasp and Ant-Man. I know it's called Ant-Man Wasp, but it was Wasp and Ant-Man. Notice her position in the poster. She takes the front center stage. It was a Wasp movie. And sorry, she's an incredibly average character played by an incredibly averagely talented actress. Not bad. She was cool. I actually liked her better in The Hobbit. And I don't like Lost. So you're right. They needed TJ. They needed to do something to move the needle at Comic-Con. And, now that I'm a few days away from Comic-Con, aside from the very good, I had a great time. It was one of the best times I've had at Comic-Con, period. But it was one of the worst Comic-Cons ever, as far as announcements. Like a nightmare. Alex for $5. Do you think in a few years, Ant-Man's daughter hooks up with Hawkeye? With Hawkeye's daughter. Yes. Few years, couple years. By the time She-Thor shows up, I think this thing will be over. I think it'll be laughed at. Maybe there'll be production delays. Maybe Chris Hemsworth will back out of the deal. I mean, this is 2 years, right? 2021, end of 2021. He's got to stay all yoked up. Inhumans was supposed to be a film too, and Captain America had a different title. There's a lot of these things that they've changed. Robert Atkinson for $5. Do you watch Cobra Kai? Yes. I think they've done a good enough job stamping down the wokeness. It's there, but it's tempered. Cobra Kai is perfect. Again, if you want to put a couple of woke things in, if you temper it down and even it and show the other side, I got no problem with it whatsoever. But it's just, it's woke after woke. Every 5 minutes, we're mentioning why white people are bad. I mean, I wish, at least in this article from KT Robinson, that she came out and said it. White people are bad. That less white dudes. White people are bad. That's good. Hang on just a second. I got to move my video back 50. I don't want it popping out while I'm on the live stream. Hang on. Got to change the time on it. Give me just a second. Sorry. I have it coming out at 9:15. I'm going to change that to 9:30. 9:30. I'm so for the rest of the summer, I'm absolutely done giving a crap about the algorithm when I get back from Star Trek, because channel's doing great. It's doing great. So I want to produce more content. One of the things I'm going to be doing is daily live streams. Now, they're not going to all be on this channel. We're going to do most of them on this channel, and then we'll do 3 on Nerdrotic Live. That's my alternate channel. If one of my mods could put that link in the description. We're almost at 10,000 subscribers over there, which is great. And that one's more free and loose, and we're not talking as much about agenda. We're more talking about like UFOs or television shows, but everything's live. And it's a fun channel. I think I like doing stuff on it. So we're going to go live every day, and I'm going to be putting out 3 videos a day. So I'm upping my content quite a bit. It's going to make obligations tough, but I'm going to stick with them. The Exozone is something I do with Doomcock every Thursday, and that's going to alternate channel. And then we have the Inquisition on 6 p.m. on Sunday. And this is prior to fall. Like, there's TV shows I'm going to be covering too, which, so I'll be live streaming a lot like I usually do. But that has now been changed to 9:30. Good. Okay. Just wanted to take care of that real quick. And we have a decent crowd tonight. That's good. I know a lot of people live stream on Friday, so thank you for choosing me. I do appreciate it. HJW's Hate Pianos, 52 white keys, 36 black keys. Oh boy. Glizner. $2. Thank you very much. $2 for that. TJ Paris, $5. Unbound Ego is the death of art in all mediums, in my experience. Seems like what we're seeing across all the properties en masse. You're absolutely right, TJ. Absolutely right. Well said. Well said. Thank you for the $5. Brad, man, for $5. It'll be okay, Gary. I'm sure one day Brie Larson will become Doctor Who and the next captain of the Enterprise. Hopefully soon. Let's just get it over with. Let's just get it over with. Sneakwood Martin Green can play Superman, and we'll call it a day. Tim Riggs for $20. This is typical. Use the original characters to build the popularity of the brand. Let them do all the hard work and effort to connect and build the fan base. Then appropriate it and use the brand to scam fans as long as you can. Absolutely. Within that article, the video I'm coming out with, KT Roberts mentions that. Remember, she is completely honest on this. So please take a look at my video. I don't rant very much, but I'm pretty fired up during this one. And it's something that needs to be watched. Usually I would save it for the morning, but screw it. It's coming out tonight. It's coming out tonight. I worked too hard on it. I'll show you the thumbnail. I'm going to show you the thumbnail. I got to pull it up first here. Then we'll get to the chat for a few minutes here. Bum, bum, bum. The Nerdrotic Nooners are going to, when I get back from Star Trek convention, I'm going to be moving those back up to like 10 or 11 a.m. so I can have the rest of my day and we can go a little longer. But they're going to get back to being scheduled, which is very good. I got to bring a schedule to my life. It's been very chaotic the last month. Need to get that toned down a little bit. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? It was right there. It's female Thor. Oh, I already had a female Thor. That's why. It's my second female Thor. There it is. I mean, all this buildup, it's just a stupid thumbnail, but what the hell? That's the thumbnail. So look for that coming out soon. Oh, wait. I didn't mean to close it that quickly. Jesus Christ, Gary. There we go. Kind of liking the googly eyes. Jeremy said he liked the googly eyes. So that was fun hanging out with Jeremy and meeting Jesse. So Jesse and I are going to be doing stuff in the future with the Orville. She's an Orville fan. And again, I want to remind what I said at the top of the live stream. I'll remind you again. If you truly love the Orville and you love and I want you to send me a video, a 60-second video telling me why you love the Orville and why you love the Orville fan base. If you truly love that, I mean, you got to watch the show. You got to know about the show. And I'm working on a compilation video, for the Orville. I'm going to mix in YouTubers and viewers and friends here at Nerdrotic. And yeah, we're going to do that and have a little fun with it. I'm going to work on it over the weekend and we'll see if it works out. Hopefully it doesn't turn out like crap. But that would be on me if it did. I won't be able to get everybody's video in, but I want as many people to send it as possible. And then I can do a super cut on Nerdrotic Live where I would put everybody in. And I'm pretty sure that people from the Orville will watch it. What I'm trying to do is as much as I'm trying to get rid of the wokeness in absolutely everything we watch, the removal of partisan politics. I just want things presented fairly. That's it. And they're not right now. Right now, half the country is demonized, and I have a giant problem with that. And it's doing it within my art, and it's effing up everything. I was watching The Lord of the Rings, which is the perfect movie trilogy. It is a perfect movie. I love every second of that long ending. I love every second of anything in The Lord of the Rings. It is glorious to me. And it would not get made today. It just straight up wouldn't get made. There'd be just too much misogyny and white males and we can't have that now. So we're just gonna have to make our own shit. Hollywood felt pressured by Oscars So White and everything. I certainly understand why they would change their ways, but this overreaction and overcorrection will ruin everything because they're not thinking about the story first. Now they can certainly, if they wanted to do it, they want to do it the easy way, basically. They don't want to put the work into it because they don't really believe in it. So it's going to be up to us as usual. Okay. We're going to get rid of that. Tim Riggs, I'm actually okay with this to a point. As an acceleration, the faster the entire entertainment establishment can burn itself down, the better. Tim, I completely agree with you. I am okay with I'm done. I'm going to call this shit out, but honestly, let it burn. Tyrone Beard for Australian $2. G-Buzz Gaza, looking forward to your work. Crazy. I try to be crazy as possible. But that's just my life. That's the way I am. When I get back from Vegas, there's lots of announcement and stuff, but right now things are a little nuts and I can't wait for Vegas. We leave in 4 days. I don't want to fly, but I'm flying out there. Really nice hotel room though. Hey Gary, have you seen the series Steven Spielberg's Falling Skies? Apparently a new show in the works by showrunners from Falling Skies and Battlestar Galactica based on sci-fi novel Gateway. For Apple, correct? Kamikaze for Australian $10. Yes. Ronald D. Moore is working on it for Apple, I think, if that's the one you're talking about. I haven't seen Falling Skies. It came and went like that. Christy Miller, thank you for the $1. You're not supposed to be super chatting. You are a mod. You know the rules, but thank you very much. All right. Get back to the chat now. Yep. Call them out when they're bad writing and acting and pandering. It sucks. It sucks. We need new renaissance of independent writers to give Hollywood the middle finger like Lucas did in the 70s and 80s. Exactly. Absolutely. God, there was a article I wanted to read and I'm not going to have time for it. Yeah, please tune in tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to be a lot more prepared and we're going to go over the Game of Thrones panel and we're going to do some get into some comic book retailing stuff. Maybe I'll go over that article Zach went over, but I will watch Zach's video. Please give Zach a click. Zach is it was formerly Diversity in Comics. Now it's your boy Zach. Comics Matter with your boy Zach. I won't get banned. Well, I don't know. If I get banned from the Star Trek convention, that'd probably be good. That'd be great for the channel. Orange band bad. I know. Here, hang on. Let's trigger some people. Where is it? Wait.
I have no choice but to tell you, you're fired.
There you go. Got this at Comic-Con for $40. Let's see. Is that the only phrase?
I have no choice but to tell you, you're fired.
Now, apparently, I guess they only repeat one phrase when you press it in the back, but when you take them out, he says 17 phrases. It doesn't say. That was a tough one. Think big and live large. Never give up under any circumstances. Never give up. I have no choice but to tell you you're fired and more. I should fire myself just for having you around. This one's easy for me. You're fired. Here's Jeremy's. I got Jeremy's too. Right here. Oh, what else did we? I could do this. So, whoops. I got a knockoff. I know it's Matt Ryan, but I'm going to pretend it's Matt Ryan from Constantine season 1. I love Constantine and Hellblazer. It's Paranormal Detective. I love these knockoffs. They're freaking great. And then I got a very muscly man. I got my Conan. And I've been wanting this forever. So I got a 1/6 scale Crow. And then Mike S. Miller gave me this for Game of Thrones fans. This was cool. I was not expecting this. This is from The Sworn Sword, the Tales of Duncan Egg. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, there you go. There's Sir Duncan the Tall, an egg, drawn by Mike S. Miller. If you're not aware, it's a series of short stories or novellas by George R. R. Martin that take place about 100 years before Game of Thrones. And it's little young Aegon Targaryen. They call him Egg, and he's with a giant knight called Sir Duncan the Tall, who may have some lineage with Brienne of Tarth. Brienne of Tarth. I always say Brienne. Brienne is. I have a niece named Brienne. Sorry, it just rolls off the tongue every time like that. I did half the series. Blue Devil was on Swamp Thing today. He was, Mark. Did they actually make him Blue Devil? I have to get caught up on the show. The Trumpy Bear? I don't know about that. I'll take a look, Lubella. I will. Hi, Lubella. How's it going? Thank you for the $2. It's good to see you. Quentin Watts. Also, New Blade's name is pronounced Mahershala. So Mahershala Ali. Thank you. Mahershala. I think it's great casting. As a matter of fact, if you saw my Alita review, which was part of a podcast, that was the first thing I said is if Wesley Snipes can't play Blade, that dude should, because he's great in everything I've seen. He's one of the best actors in Hollywood right now, if not the best actor in Hollywood. So as long as they don't have him fighting a superior female vampire and protecting the most important girl in the world, I'll watch it. But I'm pretty sure that's going to be the plot of the Blade movie or any movie with a male protagonist. and he will have a female boss that he has to answer to. Once in a while is fine. Every single damn show I watch, it's getting a bit much. Hellblazer, that's right. True Detective Season 3 was good. True Detective Season 2 was not good. True Detective Season 1 was perfection. Well, Constantine is bi. He's always been bi. 0918. That's goes from the comics. I heard that Jim Butcher re-released the Dresden Files as epic Game of Thrones style series. Really interesting. I have a bunch of, I have some audiobooks of that. I met him a couple of times. I have some audiobooks of that, but he gave me a book. He wrote a Spider-Man Black Cat book that he gave me. But I had a booth next to Jim Butcher for 3 years at Comic-Con. Really nice guy. Where can people send the Orville videos? Gary@nerdrotic.com. What you probably want to do is put it on your Google Drive and then share the link with me. And that's the best way to get it because they're probably going to be too big to send. So put it on a Google Drive, which is free. And as long as you have a Gmail, and then you send me the link at Gary@nerdrotic.com. Try to have them to me by Sunday morning, West Coast time. So that is, 36 hours from now. Unbox the Conan kit, please. I will. Random Brad creates, but not tonight. Not tonight, unfortunately. Tonight it's getting we're on very limited time tonight. Which I'm very sad about. Because you know what? Honestly, the Friday Night Tights podcasts have been kind of put on the back burner for a while. I've been doing this one forever. I've been doing Friday night at 7:00 for well over a year now. I've only missed like 3 or 4, but I want to get back into, we're going to have comics back when I'm back from Vegas. Right now, I can't plan anything. I can't be responsible for putting together normally this is the show I like to have some planning for. I have some articles for you, and I just don't have time to prepare for it right now, but I will when I get back from Vegas. Picture this: Noah Hawley as showrunner for Hitchhiker, Dan Stevens to star. Also, Andy Serkis is rumored to direct Venom 2. Thoughts? I love Andy Serkis. I do. I don't know how he is as a director, though. Why can't they have the director for Venom 1? I thought they had him in. I'm for it. Listen, it's all you have to do is you have to direct Tom Hardy, who's going to carry your damn movie. So I'm for it. But Sony's going to fuck that up so badly. They are. Thank you, Quiznent. Trying to figure out how to pronounce your name. Zunent. I can't. You gotta have to. I'm gonna say Watts. That's easier. Tell me how to pronounce your first name. Lou Bella, thank you again. I will buy the Trumpy Bear. I'll have to look at that. Watts again. Missed my first super chat, which the picture this Noah Hawley has showrunner for Hitchhiker. No. Also New Blade's name, which I got. Okay. Peter Ford. Nothing wrong with female boss. We call them wife. You're damn right, Peter Ford. That's what we call them. My wife's handle, her screen name is Bossy Boots. But it's not like ironic. She's pretty bossy and she wears boots. So Fuzzy Pickles for $1. Well, hello, Fuzzy Pickles. I would not eat a fuzzy pickle. No. Yeah, no. It has to be a dill pickle in a jar. I like the spicy ones though. I always put those in my on my sandwich. Spicy pickles, minced. But no fuzzy pickles. Thank you for the $1 though. Thank you for the $1. Yeah, I think we're good there. I think that's where we're going to end it. That's where we're going to end it. I'm sorry it was short tonight. You guys were fantastic as usual. I still owe you a stream about the Orville and the Expanse, which I will not forget. But tomorrow night, we're going to break down the Game of Thrones panel from San Diego because it's hilarious. It's hilarious. And we're also going to talk about some comic book stuff. And don't forget, the Inquisition is at 6 p.m. on my channel. So that's this Sunday at 6 p.m. Doomcock and I are going to put a lot of stuff on trial, including Kate Mulgrew and Alex Kurtzman again for the Brian Fuller thing. I'm sure there's some Disney offenses that I can't think of right now. Maybe Comic-Con. I don't know. Now that we've had time, maybe we should put the entirety of Comic-Con on trial. But please go to nerdrotic.com for my live stream schedule. Thank you, everybody who sent a super chat. Oh, damn. Okay. Also, I've got some super chats to make up from the Orville experience from earlier in the week. So I'll do that tomorrow night as well. And maybe we'll get some people on. I was going to try to get people on tonight, but I didn't have enough time. So hopefully we can get some people on tomorrow. There will be a live stream with me, Jeremy, and Quarter Black Garrett from the Steven Crowder Show. That's going to be on Geeks and Gamers. We're going to try to set that up in the next 72 hours. Please keep an eye out for that. That's going to be a very interesting live stream. And until then, yeah, it's going to be all Star Trek all the time next week. A lot of Star Trek stuff. I know some of you really want me to just make Star Trek stuff all the time, and kind of okay with that. But a lot of it will be next week. Thank you again for all your support. Again, thank you for the super chats. They keep the lights on here. And everybody have a great evening. And remember, not all who wander are lost.